Hey, and welcome to much needed Luna Talks. So, my sleep pattern is back to being all over the place again. Um, I pulled up to a job site, it's like wee hours of the morning, so it counts for me because I have been up. I have been awake, so yeah, it counts for me. And of course, with everything going on and happening, I started to think to myself, of course, are we like just preconditioned to seek out chaos? I remember reading an article years ago. I did. I wish I would have wrote it down. Who published it? But basically, this person was doing a study trying to showcase that humans are naturally coded for negativity. And part of me believes that's true just because we were born imperfect. We are born already sinful. So, yes, that does make sense that we're naturally inclined for negativity first, and that positivity actually takes an effort. I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to positivity, I have to take a step back to actually conjure up something positive, where negativity just flows back and forth as if it's a normality. So, but I started to think about that, about chaos, and I think plus two, because I've been I've been watching a lot of Jason Wilson um, interviews and videos. That's the brother that wrote the book, The Comprehensive Male. And just listening to his story, his background is similar to mine, but just listening to his story overall, and and it's a struggle. Like I can empathize with many of you men having grown up majority around males. So I've seen it firsthand, the stuffing of the feelings and the don't say anything, don't show emotion. Heaven forbid you display any kind of anything. You always have to stay stoic and hard, and I just never understood that. And then as a black female, it was kind of that same message that was being draped over us as well. You're a black woman, you gotta stay strong, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you got everybody's back, you gotta. And then I think to myself, who says this? Like, who? I'm that kind of person. I question it. Who says this? Who says that I gotta do anything? Who says that I have to be strong? Who says that I have to stand up for everyone else? Yes, as many of you heard me say before, I'm far from a bystander, but I do not willingly throw myself on a sword for the sake of others. So it's I don't know, it can be a little push pull, but anyway. So I've also started to think about examples of those who prefer chaos over everything else. And I was talking to a friend over the weekend. It reminded me of a story. So when I first moved, I, tried to put myself out there just to meet people in general, not so much dating, just to meet people in general. And, I met this one guy. We actually did a traditional date. Like, took me out to dinner. He planned it all. He asked me, he planned it all. We met at the restaurant. I dressed up. He brought me a gift. I remember he bought me a book because I am like really into books, reading, all that stuff. So he brought me a book because we discussed that a lot, reading. And, the dinner was great. We were vibing, definitely. But, when I spoke to my friends and told them about him, when I laid it out on paper, he did not look good. He just didn't. He just didn't. You know, he went to jail for manslaughter. He worked like, a basic job, um, requiring no education, third shift kind of deal. Uh, no education, barely graduated high school. And to add insult to injury, he got out of jail and was living with his mom. And it wasn't like, oh, he just got out of jail. Like, he'd been out of jail. So it's like when I laid it out on paper and was telling my girlfriends, they were like, girl, I wouldn't entertain that much longer if I were you. But that's okay, because the universe, God, whatever entity you want to call, him, her, it, them, they moved that that male, I should say, out of my life. So about a year passed because he went MIA, as most of y'all do, or that's when that whole ghosting phenomenon really started to become stronger, more prevalent. He disappeared for about a year. And I'm not going to keep calling somebody. I'm not going to keep calling, looking, wondering, waiting, asking questions. I'm not doing that. If you disappeared, it's either you're dead or you're entertaining somebody else that you find more appealing. And you removed yourself from my background, my life, I should say. So then randomly, a year later, I get this number. Because mind you, like I said, I didn't save his number or anything like that. So this random number called me a couple times. Then by the third time I answered, it was him. I'll just call him Jeff. It was Jeff. Oh, wow, small talk here and there, blah, blah, blah. Oh, of course. Oh, I'd love to see you again. We should meet up. Meet up for coffee or something. Well, we'll see. Okay. Try to wear me down. Another couple calls. Then I finally gave in. Yeah, let's meet up. Let's meet up. Let's see each other. Let's talk. Okay. So we meet up. He brings over booze. Because I was like, just come over. Meets up. He shows up. Bottle of Hennessy. Brought me flowers. Brought me another book. I was just like, wow, okay. I was a little dumbfounded because I had become that used to no one doing anything for me. So for a guy to bring me gifts like that again, I was like, wow, okay. So we got to talking, catching up. Oh, what you been up to? Just working, that whole thing. So I said, all right, why'd you go ghost? Why'd you go MIA? He takes a deep breath and he's like, well, I met someone else. I said, I figured that. He's like, well, I met someone else and, it's one of those things where I thought the grass was greener. I looked at him, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because mind you, we didn't date for that long. So I'm thinking, what is he talking about? The grass is greener. Like, we didn't even get down that path that far for him to even know me fully enough. So he was like, well, the woman that I was talking to after you, she was a stripper. I'm like, okay, I mean, whatever. I know some strippers, but I know some strippers that are on their game. Like, they going to college, they starting businesses, they using that money as capital. But I've come across other strippers that are a hot ass mess. And that's the kind that he came across. She was a mess. She was barely taking care of a school-age child. He said she was on drugs. Then it got to the point where she was trying to beat on him. And I'm sitting there covering my mouth because I got a smirk underneath, like this always happens. These guys think that there's always something better on the other side, and when it's not as what they hoped for, then all of a sudden they want to call me and they want to unload, and I'm just like, no. So he's sitting there telling me, and I'm just, again, smirk, okay, dude, whatever. And he's like, it got to the point where she was hitting on me and being on drugs so badly that I had to remove myself from that situation. And I said, why? He said, because the last time she hit me, the neighbors called the cops on us. It got that out of control. And plus her child was there. And I was like, and when he said that, I was done. I was done. I was done. I was done. I was like, okay, you were seeking out that kind of chaos. You saw the rapper, you got mesmerized, you got, I guess how you say, digmatized, coochieized, whatever, and you thought that was a better option, and you ran off to that, and since it wasn't, it turned out to be worse. Then, oh, well, let me try to re-examine and go back and see what's up with Luna. No, no. And this goes for men and women. That is not the option. Y'all need to stop doing that and sit in your decisions and be accountable for your decisions on going a different path. Just because it wasn't what you thought it was doesn't mean, oh, eek, let me go back. No. And I always had that notion of an X is an X for a reason. And that has always reigned true for me in every time. An X is an X for a reason. I'm thankful that we didn't get that far as getting to know each other and all that stuff, because it just, at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it. So let that be a lesson to you guys. The next shiny thing isn't always the best thing for you. And on that note, I also smoked some good stuff. Blueberry haze. I think it's like 19% THC, which is nice. It's not too heavy. Managed to get a lot of things done with that. Actually, it kind of jolted my writing again. So I may read an excerpt that I did last week on my next one. But yeah, guys, just wanted to get that out, let you know that. So are you addicted to chaos? Or are you allowing chaos to be addicted to you? So I hope you guys get some sleep. Thanks for joining me again on LunaTalks. And find me on IG at Luna Stairs. Have a good one. Night, night.